So we did Rachel for a daytime look, which was base, blusher, a little bit of shader, this lovely eyeline, which still looks really good and lasts really well. And we just tidied the eyebrows. And now it's evening and she's got a party to go to, so we're getting a quick transformation. So the first thing we'll be doing would be applying eyelashes, which is always a scary thing. And the ones that we've got, hold that for me, Rachel, the ones that we've got here, these are a natural product. They're called velour and they're absolutely beautiful. You can certainly reuse them and they are beautifully fine. So let me just hand these over to Marie. I think the trick with eyelashes is you probably do need to cut them unless you've got a very long eye. But
we're going to have a little look here. Luckily, these are on a stick for us, so you can come into Pam and these are on sticks, so you can actually put this against your lash line just to see what kind of lashes suit you. So these are the ones we've already picked out for Rachel. So obviously we've got left and right. Be careful when you're peeling these off.
They can, not just them, but all eyelashes can kink and break, can't they?
Absolutely. So
if
you just tease it with and just get in there first and then pull them off slowly.
Brilliant, I'll hold that for you.
And already I can tell what's nice about these is that they move. So some of the cheaper eyelashes tend to be very hard and very strong on this line, and some of them are straight. And if you're putting that on an eye, obviously it's curved, so that's going to be really difficult. So you can do tricks like rolling it
with your brush. Yeah.
But these are lovely and flexible, so hopefully these will shape the eye lovely. Everyone's, again, eye size, eye shape are different. So really, the likelihood of you pulling them out of the packet and then fitting
pretty slim.
So we're just going to rest them without anything on them on Rachel's eye, just to see if we need to cut them. Okay, so open, Rachel. So they're not too bad, however, they will come right into her waterline, and it might
close you. That's the thing, because sometimes I think if the lashes are too heavy, it closes the eye, doesn't it? Because you really want the lift in the outer corner.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so we could probably trim those a bit, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. And also it's more comfortable for Rachel.
Yeah.
Because that corner can poke you in the waterline. So I'm just going to snip. And actually, what people do, I think the best way to do this is if you snip from the outside. So you don't take off the inside, because when they're prepared with a graduation. Don't cut them from the insides, because you've got those lovely graduations there. So you want them to look as real as possible, so we're going to cut a little bit from the outside. So we just need to cut a small bit off. Again, start small, because you can always nip a little bit off if you want more. So we've got the duo glue here that will actually, once it's dry, will dry black.
So you're letting the air get to that, so it's ever so slightly tacky, because that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also equally important is to add it where you're adding the glue. It's not to the flat side, it's to the top bit, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to make sure, because you don't want to stick the flat bit, because the eyelashes won't sit properly. So you just want to get that top bit.
So you're putting it on the top level there, and it's really important to let that tack up, because if you put it on when the glue is still too wet, it won't stick straight away. The movement of the eye opening and closing will actually cause the lash to slip off. So you can always give it a little blast with a fan or a bit of hairdryer.
Yeah.
So it's slightly tacky.
I think we're nearly there. And also just maybe put a little extra blob on the corners.
On either end, yeah.
Because they always tend to be the ones that lift. There and there. Great, I think we're ready to apply.
So Marie, you're just making sure that it is a contact glue, so you're just giving it a gentle push in to make sure that it does stick.
And open.
Great.
So we're happy now where that's placed. Don't be afraid to take it off and start again. It might lift some of the eyeliner, but you can go over the top. And also if you see any gluey parts, again, you can go over with eyeliner.
So now we're just going to put the other lash on, exactly the same technique.
I've just cut the corner, so again I'm just going to quickly do the same on this side, just to make sure I've snipped enough off. So Rachel, open. That looks good to me. And apply the glue.
I don't know if you saw the way Marie put that on, it's almost like putting it on that way. So many people put their lashes on downwards, which actually pushes the natural eyelashes down rather. Marvellous. So that's part of the evening look, and I think the other thing we could do, Marie, is just add a little bit more socket line, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
And that lovely trick of putting a little bit of highlight just in that inner corner. This is one of the Makeup Forever Aqua pencils. And that's it. Go there. Just in the inner corner. And just close for me. Just going to do a tiny bit on that middle section, just on that centre.
Because really it is about the socket for this look. It's the attention's on the eyeliner and then keeping everything else quite nice, light and dewy really.
Just open.
What I might do is actually add a bit of socket line, just using a bit of bronzer. So this is the Mud bronzing powder. It is for all over the face, but I'm just going to put a bit on the socket line. Again, it just helps enhance it without doing too much. It's just where the sun would naturally hit it. And it helps emphasise this lovely highlight that Kate's done. So I'm just going to blend this bronzer just naturally where the sun hits it.
I mean, this is a classic look. This is what Marilyn Monroe did. This is you've done a really strong eyeline, lashes, highlight, and just a little bit of socket line. I mean, hers was heavier. And again, in the 60s, it's basically the same principle, isn't it? But it's a really elegant, classy look.
It can definitely take you from daytime into nighttime.
I've gone back to my old favourite Makeup Forever No. 5 for eyebrows because I find it works on blondes, brunettes, because it's just very, very universal. Yes. You can feather it in. Yes. And the final thing we're going to do for the evening is strong red lips. So we're starting with a lip pencil, which is a Makeup Forever, which is quite strong. You can see there are two. For the older lady like myself, there is Makeup Forever also do an anti-feathering. You know that awful thing where strong lip colour starts to bleed onto your foundation, which looks awful. They do a really lovely anti-feathering pencil, which we won't need with Rachel, but we will show you. And they also do a double-ended, kind of like corrector pencil. I mean, it's quite hard to do such an exact thing with two colours, and Marie is really good at it. But if you do get it wrong, you know, a cotton bud dipped in Le Maquillage cleanser will clear it up for you. And you can just go round with this sort of corrector pencil just to define your line. I know when I trained, we used to do it with dots, joining up our dots if you found it tricky to do a straight line. But Marie's managed it very well.
Don't ever worry about making a mistake. It can always be corrected. Just cotton buds and a good cleanser.
A good cleanser. That's why I like the Le Maquillage one, because it doesn't leave any greasy. It cleans it off like water, really.
Yeah.
You're now going to fill in with a Makeup Forever. I mean, these palettes are great, aren't they? They're, for a makeup artist, you get a lot in a small space, don't you? So for us to carry around. Absolutely. And you're just filling in the middle bit. Slightly glossier, isn't it?
It is. So like Kate,
on the lips.
Absolutely. Like Kate said, you can use just a lip liner. Keeps it a bit more matte, but it just helps it all stay in place. And then you don't have to worry about going over that dreaded lip line again.
So Marie's just blotting off the lipstick there. I mean, you could do it just with the pencil, but now it looks like a real evening look. Now those strong red lips are on. And we didn't need it with Rachel because she's so young and gorgeous, but this anti-feathering, if you had slightly less firm lip line into the skin line, you can just paint this along. It acts as a sort of barrier to stop the lipstick from bleeding. And again, Marie had a very steady hand. But actually, you can just use this as a highlight, Marie, can't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right, this is a sort of corrector pencil, but it also works to do a natural highlight around the lip. I mean, Rachel's got one already. But to emphasise it, you're actually bringing the lips out, and it makes it look really clean. It's a nice, clean look.
And if you haven't got a clean line, this just this helps.
It just sharpens it up, doesn't it? Keeps it looking really nice. and it does look evening.
It's quite a classy look. You know, and don't worry about coming over, you know, corrective. If anything drops, you know, you just come back in under the eyes, or if the eyelashes, you know, have come away slightly, add a bit more glue, come over the top with a bit of eyeliner.
So we've got here our little selection of goodies that we used. We've got the mud palette, amazing foundations, but got to be used with the primer, right, Marie?
Absolutely.
The primer really. They're lovely banana powder, and then you've got the individual mud palette with all. You can put your own colours in. We put base and blusher and eyeshadows there. Then fantastic velour lashes, all natural. Then we've got the eye primer from Makeup Forever. This was a bit of a revelation for me because I hadn't really used it before, and I thought it was fantastic. Then we go on to the brow seal, very useful for keeping your brows in trim, and the lovely Makeup Forever flash colour palette with all those gorgeous colours, and the Makeup Forever lip palettes, which are so colourful. The brushes we all love, the mud lipstick, and of course the Pam triangular powder puff.